Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Roadblock. We're on the free to play. Just wanted to kind of give you guys an update about how the progress is going in the fusion. So, first things first, let's take a look. Right now, I have all 175 fragments that are currently available. So, if we pull up the calendar, right? So, we've got 100 right here, and then 75 right here. So this is everything I've done. I did the Dragon Tournament, Champion Training Tournament. I completed that last night. I don't think I did that on camera. I ended up doing it off camera. It took me a little bit, but I got it done. Classic Arena Takedown I did today, like I said I would. I used a couple refills. Ice Golem Tournament. I don't think I had that finished on camera yesterday, but I have it finished now. Yeah, I think I finished it last night. It took me a handful of runs. I was very close. The Summon Rush, I completed that one on camera. And then we have the Artifact Enhancement event and the Dungeon Divers event. So Dungeon Divers was done before I streamed, and same with the Artifact Enhancement. So I've knocked all of that out. We're at the halfway point, and I'm where I should be. It's really important to keep track of this stuff. I love watching Chosen is another content creator that I frequently watch quite often, and it's really funny to watch when he gets to the end of a fusion. He's like, I don't know what happened to these 25 or these 5 fragments, but they're missing, they're gone. And it's just I don't mean to laugh at his pain. I know how much that sucks. I mean it more so that it can happen to anybody. Even people that do this for a living, you can easily lose track of this stuff. So it is important to go back over and say, okay, I did this, I did this, I did this, and you know, kind of have a mental checklist there, or an actual checklist if you're paranoid about it. So we are looking very, very good for the fusion. Now let's do an analysis of what resources we have to continue the fusion. I currently have 2,442 gems. I have used quite a few gems along the way, but we will be getting more as we continue. You know, we get our daily gems every day, and then we'll be getting more as we go on. Like right here, if I wanted to, I could easily knock out some extra gems and stuff. I'll be honest with you guys, just because I'm so overwhelmed, I'm pretty lazy about my advanced quests. I should be better about that. And if in all actuality, if you have a free-to-play account and you're very serious about your free-to-play account, I would recommend, I don't talk enough about the advanced quests. These are all highly achievable quests. The hardest one for me would be Classic Arena with a team from 4 different affinities. And the only reason I say that is not because I'm lacking the 4 different affinity champions. It's because it's annoying to do sometimes. Like you don't want to give away an arena battle. You know, if I was to do that right now, my current team is 2 spirit, a magic, and a void. So I would just have to throw in a force affinity. And I could do that, right? I could throw in Rathalos, for example, or I could throw in Ultimate Death Knight, but it throws off the plan. It throws off my approach to the battle and could result in a loss, which I don't really like to do. So I'm hyper competitive, and I don't want to just give away a loss just to complete that quest. But at the same time, that's 50 energy, and for a free-to-play, energy is way more valuable than what it would be with a paid player who can just press a button and, you know, $5, boom, I got a bunch of energy, right? So I just happened to see that and wanted to kind of cover that while I was thinking about it. Now, I want to talk about kind of what's new in Raid today, and we are going to get to pull a mystery shard. We get to pull a prism shard. Prism shard. That's what they're called. So, what am I looking for in this prism shard? Well, Neldor would have been high on the list. Got him already. We have him. This is Andalia. We have her. She's part of the mythical fusion for Lady Mikage. Illusinia, we don't have, and she is also part of that same mythical fusion. So this is one that I would want. We're going to take a look at that fusion in a second. What is Skaramis again? Provoker. I feel like Skaramis is one of those ones that I hear people talk about being good that I'm sleeping on. So, it's a 3-turn provoke on all enemies. Attack all enemies decreases duration of their buffs by 1 turn. Okay. 60% chance to place decrease attack. Okay. And then turn meter fill for every buff you duration that you increase or decreased. 80% chance of stealing turn meter. Okay. Or and then it has a chance to place a stun. 80% chance of stealing 15% of the target's turn meter. Has a 20% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn if the target's turn meter is fully depleted by this skill. So if they only have 15% turn meter, you'll stun them. Yeah. I don't know about that one. Is he part of the fusion? I'm going to check real quick because I haven't looked at it in a minute. So Skaramis is not. But this Illusinia is right here. And she is part of it. So now we have, this is what Loquain looks a lot like Skaramis to me. I'm not saying he actually does, but to my eyes he does. So we've got, we're getting closer to Mikage there. Kira would be really cool to get too. I think she's a really good ally protector that also brings increased defense. And her decrease attack is pretty much guaranteed. I mean, I know you need accuracy, but I do like... And then she has a decrease attack on her A1 as well. So Kira would be really, really good. Probably, arguably better than some of the ally protectors that I pulled on this particular account. But we're still a little ways from that. But I also wanted to talk about the other champions up for grabs in this. So the biggest one that I want out of this group, because I have Tayrel, is a Royal Guard. Royal Guard would fill a big niche on the account that we don't have. And so far, we've managed to get by without it. But enemy max HP damage, we don't have it on the account. We don't have a Cold Heart. I guess we have Armiger. You could argue that. And we do have Husk. The thing that the reason that Husk ended up taking a back seat on this account is because I feel like Royal Guard does more damage. Husk brings a little bit more utility with his provoke, but Royal Guard can smack. And I've used Royal Guard on takeover accounts that I've done. It's so satisfying when he does his damage. It really is. I also think for an epic and an old... I don't know how old school Royal Guard is, but he feels kind of like an older epic. I love his look. I've said this before, you know, I'm really a big fan of armor. I really hate the fact that this... like, these pauldrons feel like they're made out of cloth. Which is kind of... See how they're, like, flexing there? I kind of don't like that. And these probably aren't called pauldrons. I don't know the official name for that. But I love the look of armor on champions. And I really, really like Royal Guard's look a lot. So, I got him very late on my main account. Would love to get him early on this free-to-play. So we have a chance to pull him... why do we have 25? These are the leftovers from our previous attempt. I am not going to do Sand Devil this time around. I don't have the energy for it. Even if I tried to do it overnight, just, you know, using my refill energy or whatever, I don't think it's worth it for this particular pull. I mean, even the fact that even Plarium kind of agrees, because the last one was 35, this one's 25, because the champions in the pool are a little bit weaker. It is kind of interesting that we can get this, I forget what the faction something champion, but I forget what they were called, but, you know, this faction's kind of special champion, faction unity champion, that's what they were called. Maybe I should just click on their skills and see it. I do like her kit, and for an early account, I think it's pretty decent. But on other, like on my main account, just like with Aislinn, where do I use her? You know, what, what new content does she really unlock for me? And the answer is none on my main account. Now here on this account, what high elves do I have? I know I have Tayrell. So I'll have Arbiter soon, which would be good. And then I have Tayrell, Neldor, Elhain, who's not built. Eris is built on this account, and Apothecary. Um, so not really too much that I would want to like bring along with her. So not super excited about this particular faction unity champion, but nevertheless, these are going to get pulled anyways, so I might as well make sure it happens on camera, and we can see what we get. I also want to say one more thing about this. Now, if you're a spender, maybe you know, like a low spender or something, it's very this is a dangerous area. There's no mercy. You can really quickly get swept up by this area, and I don't talk about that enough. So be careful. Like I said, I'm not going to be doing anything for it other than just using the crystals that I already have. But from experience, if you are going to spend money, be very careful in this area, because it will drain your funds very, very quickly. So, all right. Let's go ahead and pop this and see what we get. Here we go. Probably the worst one. I am definitely a Jingle Hunter. I am definitely a Jingle Hunter hater. Decrease speed on the A1. Freeze on the A2. Wait. But only if it kills an enemy. That's really bad. Attacks on enemies decreases turn meter by 20% if this attack is critical. So I actually learned about a champion that if you compare to Jingle Hunter, you can really see how kind of weak he is. There's a 4 times hitter there's a common champion. I learned about this today. Skinwalker's common champion. So Satyr is a 4-time hitter, decreases the turn meter by 15%. If the attack is critical, which would do more turn meter reduction than this epic champion. So yeah, not a fan of Jingle Hunter at all. He's one of those ones that I wouldn't even try to save for like. They're like a lot of like weaker rares. Their power level has gone up because of Centranos. You might get a room that only they can do, right? Or that their kit shines in, even though it's weaker compared to another's, it may shine in that content. I don't think Jingle Hunter is going to shine anywhere. So, yeah, that's going to become a chicken for sure. So, now, why don't we look forward to what's coming in the Fusion. So, we have Artifact Enhancement 2 starts tomorrow. I'll probably try to knock that out as quickly as possible. My silver, I have a decent amount of silver right now, and I definitely will be getting a lot more silver. Something I haven't done yet, and I plan to do, is clear out all, I have more gear than I have room for. So I need to go through and get all of this gear out of my chest. That means I have to sell some stuff in here. So I may go through a big chunk of this. Like certain sets can get cleared out kind of quickly. Like, I'd say any blue gear in the Frenzy set, any blue gear in the Immunity, definitely any blue gear in the Shield set, um, could just get sold right away. But there's a lot of bad gear in here. I know that there is. None of it I shouldn't have too many, like, flat stat stuff. Uh, yeah, because I'm pretty good at keeping up on that. But there's definitely a lot of stuff in there that probably is pretty weak in comparison to the account at this point. And I'm farming at a high enough level that I really don't need to keep all of that kind of weaker gear. So, and either way, I need to go make a ton of room because we do have, if we continue my topic here, we do have more tournaments coming up. So we have a little bit of a break right now because Ice Golem is done. So Fire Night starts on Thursday. That will be in the middle of this Dungeon Divers event too. So you're going to want to do Fire Night immediately on Thursday and then start using the remaining energy during the champion training event. This energy, or the energy you use here, will also gain you progress on the Dungeon Divers event. If you get to a point on Friday, right, where you're still pretty far from their point values in the Dungeon Divers event, I would just do some extra Fire Night. Well, I say that if you have a Fire Night on farm at a consistent difficulty. For me, Fire Night's on stage 20 because I pulled a lure. If you don't really have a consistent Fire Night team or you're farming at like a lower difficulty, then maybe you just get a lot of champion training done. Do whatever is the most efficient use of your energy if you're kind of in that bubble, because now you're going to start having fewer gems to count on. You're going to start going through your resources, and you want to make sure you're careful about how you achieve this part. You want to make sure that you're getting the bang for your buck. So that's my recommendation there. Once that Dungeon Divers is done, then we go into Dungeon Divers 3. Now, this is going to be, in my opinion, the hardest Dungeon Divers. I touched on this the other night, and I kind of want to continue that. The reason I say it is because the spider is the only thing really double dipping with this. But I think that's okay. If there's a place that you want to farm a lot of, it's spider. Do a lot of spider. It's great. It's really good for your account. You always need accessories. You know, I was just talking today, and there are people who are part of the free-to-play challenge. Well, I don't know why I'm talking around it. I did a collaboration with Oddwood, and we were talking today, and he said that, you know, he doesn't have any accuracy banners on any of his champions, and he's going for this fusion, so he's going to have a ton of spider that he's going to farm, and that should get him, hopefully, some decent banners. But even then, you could still not get banners. I still, on my main account, struggle sometimes to get the right banners. You know, you'd think an account that's been going for as long as mine has, and I'm farming on a hard spider, that I would have a pretty decent stockpile of accessories, and that is not the case. I quite often have to resort to using a 5-star banner when I would much rather have something that was 6 stars, right? So because I just don't have it in a 6-star still, you know? So on an older or on a newer account like this one, then instead of it being, you know, oh, I don't have the 6-star, it's like, oh, I don't have one at all. But so I'm actually looking forward to this spider farm. I also have Spider 20 on farm on this account, if you recall, and you may have missed it. That I do now have Spider 20 on farm. This is consistent too. Like, it's not just a one-off that I did. This is consistent. It's a completely unorthodox team. It's not, you know, there's not a AoE HP burn. There's no cold heart. I barely have any turn meter control on this team. It's just straight up kill the spiders. So, and it works. you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that's where I'm at in Spider. We got through Ice Golem, so it was very interesting how I got through Ice Golem. So what I would do is I would do stage 20 until it would fail, and then I would go up and do stage 16. And even stage 16 was failing from time to time. One of the biggest problems, and I want to make a video in the future where I fix my Ice Golem team. One of the biggest problems with Ice Golem is that he can smack, and when you're doing auto battles, RNG can sometimes be the problem, you know, maker for you. And so what is a team that can consistently clear it, you know, 4 or 5 times, you suddenly hit that final time, you know, that time where your Rathalos hit super hard and the clan boss got to hit you twice and smokes your team, and it's like, oh well, okay. Maybe I'll do a different difficulty, but that doesn't change the problem. The problem still exists because Rathalos hits too hard. And I have a good concept for an Ice Golem team. I just haven't put it into practice as of yet. So I look forward to doing that. I'm also simultaneously going to improve my team for Iron Twins. So now that I've pulled the champions that I want to really improve both Ice Golem and Iron Twins. And I view them very similar in the same way that I view Clan Boss and Dragon are very similar. Iron Twins and Ice Golem can be beat in a similar way, and that's using Geomancer. So now I have some of the buffs I need for it, and I'm rotating a lot of the champions that I've been using everywhere in the game. As my roster gets bigger, certain champions are either getting phased out or they're becoming niche champions for specific areas. So something I would really like to do is like a team that uses Ultimate Death Knight in a build where he's heavy resistance and not doing any damage, so no War Master. Ursula in a similar spot where she's tanky and not having a War Master. Geomancer without War Master as well. And then probably something along the lines of, because I've got, what, 2 more slots? It needs to be somebody that would bring a lot of buffs to my team, but not a lot of damage. So Rector Drath is a big part of it as well. You'll see I've already 5-starred Rector Drath. I know I'm going to level her up. She was one of the champions I 5-starred as part of my champion training. I was just... any champion that I'm going to use at some point got 5-starred. So both Lady Annabelle and Rector Drath got 5-starred here. But yeah, I would be looking for champions that would bring a lot of buffs to my team, but not a lot of damage. Just kind of looking here to see if there's anybody. That's 1 buff. Melga would kind of work with what I'm trying to do, but her shield would mix up. She wouldn't get as much value out of her shield because we would have Ultimate Death Knight's shield. So probably not Melga. Visionary is a potential, actually. But I might wait until somebody that might be a little higher quality. There's probably somebody I'm missing here as well. So I do apologize if you're like, oh my god, he's ignoring that really good champion right in front of him. And I admit, I probably am doing that. But Yeah, I want ally protection, but I don't want damage. And so with Taragi, he brings poisons, which would do damage, and then Skull Crusher brings the counterattack, which is fine, but the counterattack could result in me doing too much damage and causing a problem that way. So it may need to be a future ally protector to kind of make up the difference there. But I'll go over that in more detail when it comes, but I'm just kind of giving you a little preview of what my plan is for Iron Twins and Ice Golem to get a more consistent team and potentially a hard team, actually, as well. Especially now that I have Seer to get through the waves of the later stages of Ice Golem. So I don't think I have too much else that I wanted to really talk about. We do have Clan v Clan tomorrow. Now, this Clan v Clan... so, my scores on this Clan v Clan are going to be low. And that's not to say that I'm not doing the things that I should be doing. I'm saving my books, right? I saved up my Great Hall resources, right? And I will be actively playing the game, but all my energy and everything and all my resources are going towards the fusion, and I'm not focusing specifically on generating Clan v Clan points. That also, it's not a personal rewards Clan v Clan. Personal rewards Clan v Clans, I go pretty hard, especially on my main account. That won't be the case here. So I probably won't put up big scores, and I'm okay with that. Same goes for my clan, and I'm going to tell them as much. It's like, hey, it's okay if this Clan v Clan's a little weak. As long as people are hitting their minimum, that's all that really matters. So, and I know I'll hit my minimum with the way that the game is designed and the way that I play. I know I'm going to hit my minimum pretty much no matter what. So that is everything. We're in a little bit of a lull for the fusion. It's going to kick back up, and it's going to kick back up very quickly. So stay tuned for that. I'm very excited to be pulling these Void Shards during the upcoming Champion Chase and the 2X event. So, yeah, we have a lot of stuff to look forward to. Just be careful if you're a spender about this summon pool. I would say that, you know, I didn't think Aislinn was worth it to go for in the summoning portal, and I don't think that Fina is good enough either. So I will leave it at that. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you all so much for all the support that I've received in the last couple of days. After my latest shard pool video, my views skyrocketed. My subscriptions are skyrocketing. I am pushing. We are at 884. We're getting so close to 900, and then we're in the home stretch towards 1,000, right? So really happy with that. I'm almost at a loss for words. So yeah, that's everything. Well, I will see you all in the next video. Thank you for watching.